I don't care anywhere. Like a river connects to the ocean, this pavement touches wherever we're going. White lines flying by, who knows what we'll find. You and me tonight. Drive, let's drive. When's the last time we dropped our things and went? Woke up somewhere that we've both never been. Growing up doesn't mean getting older. Maybe it's just left turns off familiar streets. I just wanna come back with a memory. Growing up doesn't mean getting older. I don't care anywhere. Like a river connects to
Check. 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 Is it picking it up on there? Check. All right. Good afternoon and welcome to Docking Stadium for tonight's matchup. Your fellow Adrian College Bulldogs men's soccer team is going against Mich-Dearborn's Wolverines. The men's Adrian College team comes into this game with a 4-0 record as Mich-Dearborn comes in 1-2. Should be a great matchup tonight. My name is Tyler DeWitt and I'll be your play-by-play analyst. As the sun shines on this beautiful day in Adrian, it is a beautiful night for some college soccer. Thank you guys for tuning in to ACTV. You guys have a great game coming your way. Adrian College is currently on the program's best start since for the season as a 4-0. The Bulldogs host the Wolverines tonight in their 2019 home opener. Mich-Dearborn owns the all-time series between the two, going 2-0, winning the last season's meeting 2-1. This is the second consecutive season that Adrian will open its home by playing Mich-Dearborn. So tonight, Bulldogs look to pick one up in the all-time series today. As both teams huddle up and go over their tactics tonight for today's game. The Adrian College Bulldogs head coach going into his second season, Ryan McDonald, as the Mich-Dearborn Wolverines are coached by their first season coach, Worth Sampson. Adrian to start with possession. Strong pass by number 10, Garrett Miller, the senior for Adrian. Adrian has possession going down the sideline by Michigan. that going out of bounds. Adrian is set up for a corner kick. Number 10, Garrett Miller, set to kick the corner kick. Garrett sends the pass, strong center, stopped by a Wolverine, sent out of bounds, possession back to Adrian. Miller throws it in with a great header by a Bulldog. Out of bounds. Another corner kick for Adrian. Garrett goes to sets the kick, sends it. A little overpowered, sent over the whole group. Now it's fight for possession as Michigan kicks it out of bounds again. Possession back to the Bulldogs. And set to throw it in, number 23, Brad Squires, the senior from Travis City West High School. Strong throw into a bunch of different players with the Bulldogs regaining possession out of bounds. Sophomore, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Elliott sends the pass. Headed out by Wolverine. A little physicality on the field. And it looks to be a call by the ref. As a couple Wolverines go to defend their case, penalty kick sent for the Bulldogs. Number 6, Zach Combs, senior from Berkeley, Michigan, set to kick the penalty kick. Adrian so far 2-2 in penalty kicks. And it was a great save by the Michigan Wolverines. As their teammates get excited, goalie for Michigan calmly walks it up, sends the pass past midfield. Strong header from the Bulldogs, sending it back into Michigan territory. Michigan claims possession and gets ready to pursue for a goal. Great passing between the Wolverines right now. Seems to look like it hit a Wolverine's hand. Possession goes to the Bulldogs. Strong pass from a Bulldog, sends it downfield. Number 9, Elliott with the header. And another header by number 6, Zach Combs. And it's kicked out of bounds again by Wolverines. Number 10, Garrett Miller throws it in to number 7, McGregor Adams. Nice header to number 23, Brad Squires. Goes for the goal, but just off right. Easy pickup for the goalie. Michigan's goalie walks up, calming the team down, rolls it to another Wolverine, number 6, Luke Baker, senior from Brownstown, Michigan. Strong header by a Bulldog. Went straight to another Bulldog. Couldn't keep possession of the ball. Goes out of bounds. Possession, Mich-Dearborn. Strong throwing by Michigan. Header by another Wolverine, and is kicked out of bounds by a Bulldog. Wolverine set for another throw-in. Strong throwing by number 4. Slips between the crack, but just couldn't get possession of the ball. Number 7, McGregor Adams, strong kick out of bounds to get possession back to the Wolverines. from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Sets for the corner kick. Sends the pass. Weak pass sent right to a Bulldog defender. Kicks it right out of bounds again. Throw in for Mich-Dearborn. Number 4, Kevin Gonley, the junior from Dearborn, goes to set to throw it in for Mich-Dearborn. Strong throw into the middle of the group, headed by a Wolverine, but perfectly defended by the Bulldogs. Swift pass sent over the head of everyone on the field. There's a foot race out of bounds by Mich-Dearborn. Possession, Adrian. Number 0, Spencer Brown, is the goalkeeper tonight for the Adrian College Bulldogs. He is from Monroe, Michigan. He is a senior. Brown sends the pass to midfield. Strong header. Number 6 sends a swift pass back to his teammate number 13. Wolverines starting to get into a passing scheme right now. With the Bulldogs' pressure is there. Number 9 with a swift tackle and kicks the ball out. Sends it back to Wolverines' territory. Wolverines retreated back to their goal kicker, who sends a pass. Couple bounces over everyone. Fight for possession right now. Bulldogs come up with possession out of bounds. Couldn't keep it inside the lines. Possession back to the Wolverines. For those at home, if you haven't noticed already, the Mich-Dearborn Wolverines are rocking the Nike navy blue uniforms, as the Bulldogs are rocking the Under Armour white uniforms. Now with the Wolverines deep into their territory, strikes a strong pass to a Wolverine, but defended by 2 Bulldogs, and Bulldogs regain possession. Playing a good passing game right now. The Bulldogs are turning down the field. Strong pass sent to the middle of the field, but headed by a couple Wolverines. Wolverines gain possession, but it's sent back to the Bulldogs. Number 21 sends a strong kick to the middle of the field. Now it's a foot race. Never mind. Michigan Wolverines send it back. And now it's just a battle of possession with a bunch of headers going around. After that cluster up gain of possession, Bulldogs kick it out of bounds, possession to the Wolverines. Thrown in by number 4. He sent number 5 for the Wolverines. Chad kicks it back into their territory. Pass blocked by the Bulldogs. Mich-Dearborn back into their territory again as the Bulldogs apply pressure. Strong lead pass stopped by a Bulldog. Number 23, Brad Squires, regains possession, loses it, and Michigan's back with the ball. Kicked out of bounds by number 9, Elliott Hughes. Possession to the Wolverines. Number 15 passes to number 5 for Michigan. Passes to number 9, back to number 15. And another sliding kick by number 9, Elliott Hughes. Sent to number 6, Zach Combs, who keeps it in bounds but loses possession. Strong lead pass by Michigan Wolverines. Number 3 there, but the goalkeeper, number 0, Spencer Brown, there to take it out the air. Spencer throws it in. Now the Bulldogs are off for the races. Pass back into the Bulldog territory. Number 21, Justin Tobin, sends it across midfield right to a Wolverine. Number 21 passes it to number 4, back to number 21. Number 3 passes it back. Wolverines scan the field, trying to find a way to break into the hole of the Bulldogs defense. Number 13 set a strong pass, but hesitates. Number 15 and number 9, Elliott Hughes, going down. Elliott getting a little physical. Number 21, Vito Serra, the junior from Macomb, Michigan. Set to pass it in. With a strong pass sent to the center. Stopped by the Bulldogs. Elliott Hughes kicks it out. Or no, actually, number 2, Brandon Koiza, the defending senior from Trenton, Michigan, kicks it out of bounds. Bulldogs set to cover the throw-in. Throw-in by Wolverines completely missed by all offensive players. Sent back into Michigan territory to number 13, Grant Baker, excuse me. Pass to number 4. Number 4, Kevin Gondoli sends it back. Bulldogs bringing it back into their Michigan territory. Number 5, Dylan Mines, taking it on the side, passes back to number 21 for the Bulldogs. Great pass, stolen or deflected by Wolverines. Back possession back to Bulldogs. Elliott Hughes finds a hole inside the Michigan's defense. Pass to number 6, Zach Combs, looks into center. Sends his kick, sends it right to the goal, and it is caught by the goalkeeper for Michigan. Taking his time getting up to clear out the Bulldogs. Walks up calmly, trying to formate his team ready for a kick. He rolls it out to himself, sends a strong pass past midfield. Header by Bulldogs, header by the Wolverines, and number 21 for the Wolverines. Vito Serra comes down hard, slow to get up, but looks to shake it off. Number 2 for the Bulldogs, Brandon Koizel, sorry if I'm slaughtering names. Set to throw it in. Possession to the Wolverines. High pass, sends it to the air, headed by number 20, Robbie. Sends it back into Wolverines territory, scooped up calmly by the goalie. Goalie for Mich-Dearborn Wolverines tonight is number 29, Brian. He's a freshman from Wally Lake, Michigan. Looks to be a little physicality on the field. Strong pass sent to number 15. Keeps hesitant to keep it in bounds, but cannot get it to his teammate. Possession to the Bulldogs. Number 9, Elliott Hughes, set to throw it in. But number 2, Brandon, comes in to replace him. Brandon throws it in. Pass to number 11, does a quick move. Loses possession, and possession back to the Bulldogs, or to the Wolverines. Bulldogs, number 2, Brandon sends it towards out of bounds, scooped out by number 29, Brian, the goalkeeper for Mich-Dearborn. As Brian tells people to back up. Sends a kick past midfield, headed by Wolverine, deep into the Bulldogs territory, but no Wolverines around to claim the ball. Possession back to Adrian. Justin Tobin, the defender, gets the ball back for Adrian, and Adrian's on his way. There's a battle of possession between the Wolverines and Bulldogs happens right now. Robbie with a header. And the ref seeing a little contact. Possession back to the Wolverines. You ready for these? Number 21 for the Wolverines sends the pass. Bulldogs fighting for the ball. They get possession. Number 9, Elliott Hughes. To claim it. Ryan, the goalkeeper for Mich-Dearborn, calmly stays in the box as he has the ball. Brian sends a strong lead pass up the side of the field, headed by a Bulldog, back into Mich-Dearborn territory. And is back to square one with Mich-Dearborn, sent back to the goalkeeper. Brian picks the ball up. Set to send a strong pass Pass midfield. Great kick from the goalie. Headed by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs gain possession into a passing scheme. Fighting for possession in the middle field. And Mich-Dearborn comes out with it. Ball's up in the air. Headed by a Bulldog. Robbie kicks it back. A little collision there in the field. Kick back into territory. Bouncy pass. Fight for possession between Michigan and possession Adrian. It's a round. Spencer sends the kick. Dearborn sends a strong lead pass. It's a foot race for the ball. And Spencer Brown for Adrian there to scoop it up. This seems a pass to midfield. Possession again. Elliot Hughes goes to challenge. Number 15, Xavier Walsher has the ball. Too strong of a pass, misses his teammate, sends it right back to Spencer Brown in the goalie box. Spencer scoops the ball up. Strong pass, line drive overhead by the Bulldogs. Now full race as Michigan. Headed by Wolverines. Falls between Xavier, hits it. Number 3, Grant. Tried to go for a high kick, just missed it. Possession, 8, Michigan Dearborn. 13 sends a good pass to number 6. Number 6 fakes the pass, starts to dribble. Passes it inside the defense to number 3 for the Wolverines. Adrian there to apply the pressure. Grant steps up on the ball. Stolen by Adrian. Triangle right there. Stopped up by number 23 for Michigan. Number 10, Graham Miller, slow to get up. Or Garrett Miller. Grant has the ball on the sideline. Playing a little footwork on Michigan defenders. Loses possession. Back to possession. Goes to Adrian. Or Michigan Dearborn. Michigan tried to keep the ball in. Number 9 with a sliding kick. Jack Barnett tried to keep it in, just couldn't. Number 2 sends a strong throw in. Out of bounds by Michigan. Great IQ by number 4, Austin, to not pursue the ball before it goes out of bounds, setting up the Adrian College Bulldogs with a corner kick. Garrett Miller is set to send in the corner kick. Pass is sent. And it was scored. Header by number 2. Brandon, the defensive senior from Trenton, Michigan, off a great assist from number 10, Garrett Miller, puts the Adrian College Bulldogs on the board first with the score 1-0 with 21-27 left to play in this game, or in the first half. As the Adrian College Bulldogs stand up to give appreciation to number 2, Brandon, on a fantastic goal. Now as both teams go to reset. Brandon Kuzel again on the goal. Michigan sends it back into their goalkeeper. Michigan deep in their territory. Defense, number 3, Garrett Miller, Grant, puts the pressure. Out of bounds. Possession to the Bulldogs. Strong throw in. Kept in bounds by the Bulldogs. Got a passing scheme going. Garrett passes to number 11. 11 passes back to Garrett. Garrett with another no-look pass to Grant. Grant sends it up. And number 29, Brian, there to catch it in midair. Takes a moment to let the field clear out. Rolls it out to a fellow Wolverine. Passes to number 23 for Michigan. Number 23 tries to pass it, but it's kicked out of bounds by Adrian. Possession back to Michigan. And then the sub comes in. Number 16, Brandon Petz, the middle forward freshman from Macomb, Michigan. Here to replace number 5, Chad. Thrown in, sent in by the Wolverines. Fight for possession. A little bit of contact. Possession right back to Michigan Wolverines. Number 21, Vito. Sarah set to pass it in. Vito rolls it out. Gets a little feel for the field. Raises his hand, and the pass is on its way. Strong pass sent by Vito, sent to the middle of the field, headed out by Adrian. Grant goes to get possession, but smart IQ lets number 16, Brandon Petz, comes in and kicks it out of bounds at full speed. Great hustle by Brandon. Number 2, Brandon Koisel, set to throw it in. Strong throw in, headed by Michigan. Possession to Michigan. Gets number 11, Dayton Rush, gets tripped up. Number 7, McGregor Adams, set to pass it in for the Bulldogs. McGregor is a defensive sophomore from Novi, Michigan. Strong pass sent deep into Michigan territory, headed out. Number 4 for the Wolverines, Kevin Gundley, tried to save it but couldn't. Out of bounds. Possession to the Bulldogs, who are set for another corner kick. This time sitting in the corner kick is number 3, Grant, the middle forward sophomore from Schoolcraft, Michigan. Grant sends the pass in. Sent over everyone in the pile in the middle of the field. Out of bounds. Possession back to the Bulldogs. Thrown in by Garrett Miller, headed by Wolverines. Headed by a Bulldog, number 7. Number 7, McGregor Adams sends a strong, powerful kick that just goes up in the air and out of bounds. Possession to Mich-Dearborn. Number 21 passes to 16. 16 back to 21. 21 back to 16 for Michigan. Michigan sends it up the sideline to number 28, who tries to send a lead pass, hits it off the body of number 3, Grant. Michigan pushing deep into Adrian territory. Tried to center it, just couldn't get there. Number 4, number 19 battling for the possession of the ball. Number 4 dribbling through all defenders, but number 10, Garrett Miller, clears the ball and sends it back into Michigan territory. Michigan sends it back to their goalkeeper, who kicks it to number 13, Grant Baker. Grant sends the pass. Lead pass to no one. Spencer Brown puts his hands out, telling his team it's okay. Scoops the ball up, runs to the middle of the goalie box, and is set for a kick. Brown sends the pass. Sends to number 19 to the Bulldogs, Logan Thomas. Gets possession, sends it to number 20, Robbie. Misses Robbie. Stolen by number 16, Brendan Petz, who's pushing up the field. Tries to send a lead pass. No Wolverine there to respond. Sends it right to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs back with possession. Loses it and sends it back to Brandon Petz. With wild kicks by Brandon Petz, it goes right into the hands the feet of Spencer Brown, who calmly just picks it up. Push all Michigan defenders back. Number 8, Jacob Dreiziger, there to apply pressure. Spencer Brown sends a strong pass, headed by the Wolverines. The ref must have seen a little bit of physicality, giving it back to Michigan Wolverines. Number 13, Grant Baker with the ball, sends it back to number 21, Vito Serra. Vito sends it back to Grant. Grant sends it to number 28, Arnis Bessick. Bessick passes it to 16, 21. 21, Vito Serra sends a powerful pass, but again deflected off the body of Adrian College. Grant tried to keep the ball in bounds. Powerful pass goes out of bounds, back to possession to Michigan. Number 25, Fadi Soba comes in to sub in for number 11, Dayton Rush. Number 27, Abida Shaheri comes in for the game for the Michigan Wolverines. Pass by Wolverines sent to the middle of the field, headed by 2 Bulldogs. Michigan regains possession. Headed by a Bulldog to Garrett Miller. Garrett Miller has possession. Sends a soft pass just to be headed by the Michigan Wolverine. Battle for possession going on. Grant putting his body in harm to get the ball. And it was a little trip up by number 2, Brandon Koizel, with a great sportsmanship, picking up number 16, Brandon Petz. Possession to the to Wolverines. Number 21, Vito, set to pass it in. Number 13, Grant Baker with a strong pass to the corner, headed by a Bulldog. Regained possession to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs now trying to shake off the Michigan Wolverines defense with a quick moves and passing game. Strong pass sent past middle field to number 4. Number 4, Austin Andres misses it. Rolls out, and Michigan Dearborn there to reclaim possession. Grant Baker passes it to number 23. Number 23 sends it back to Vito. Number 16, Brandon Petz, with a nice move to over the head of the college Bulldog defender. Gets a little whistle. Possession back to Adrian. Number 28, Arnes Bessick, there to center it, but scooped up and put into the hands of the goalkeeper, number 0, Spencer Brown. Spencer is having a great game today. Strong lead pass sent to the other side in Michigan territory. Too far, sent right back to the goalkeeper, Brian, who scoops it up as he sees the pressure from Adrian, comes in, rolls it out to number 13, Grant Baker. Grant scans the field, sends it back to Brian. Brian's with a strong, powerful pass to midfield. Sent to 1 Michigan Wolverine to 2 Bulldogs. The Bulldogs send it back over there. It's a powerful pass by number 7, McGregor Adams, which ends up rolling out of bounds, going to a goalie kick for Brian. Sub set to come in, number 16, Maurice Toma, a forward freshman from Warren, Michigan, comes to check in for number 3, Grant Perrine. Brian sends in the goalie kick, headed by number 20, Robbie, to Garrett Miller. Garrett sends it to number 4, Austin Andres. Austin fighting possession with number 21, Vito. Passes it to number 2, Brandon Koisel. Koisel loses possession, sent to number 27 for Michigan, and set out of bounds. A couple subs coming in for the Michigan Wolverines. We have number 7, Tanner Wallace. Number 11, Mohamed Ane. Thrown in by Michigan. Headed out, and Michigan regains possession. Another header. 2 headers by Michigan Wolverines. And number 27, Obita, tries to go and hustle for the ball, but knocks it out of bounds. Possession back to the Bulldogs with a goalie kick coming from Spencer Brown. Bulldogs set to send another sub, number 29, Dylan Wismont, the middle freshman from Chesterfield, Michigan. Goalie kick sent, headed by Michigan Wolverines. Fight for possession, ball is in the air. Obita is definitely putting on a fight for the ball. Number 16, Brandon Petz, sends it to number 22, Joseph Cornell. Possession, Vito Serra right now, out of bounds. Possession goes to the Bulldogs. Number 5, Dylan Mines, set to throw it in. And number 29, Dylan Wismont, checks into the game for number 10, Garrett Miller. Strong throw-in, headed by the Wolverine. Wolverines regain possession. Robbie sets the pass. Strong pass sent to number 16, Morris Toma, but just cannot get there. Thrown in by the Wolverines, headed out of bounds, back to the Wolverines. Number 28, Arniz Besic, set to throw it in. Gets a running start, throws it into number 9, who gets it to number 2 for the Bulldogs, who sends it out to number 4, Austin Andres. Passes it back to number 16, Maurice Toma, who passes it to number 25, to number 21, Justin Tobin. Justin sends the pass up. Number 25, Farid gains possession. Lead pass sent, but stolen by a Wolverine. Number 6, Luke Baker. Robbie gets possession in midfield. Robbie passes it to number 29, Dylan Wismont. Dylan loses possession now. It's the fight between Brandon Petz and Dylan. Brandon pushes it up the field. Loses possession again, but Wolverines have it. Loses control of the ball. Sends his pass, number 16 for the Bulldogs. Couldn't get it there. Stolen by the Wolverines. Wolverines back in possession. Wolverines send it up the side of the field. With a fake pass, number 28 sends it to the middle of the field, headed by number 25. Robbie there for defensive, with a bunch of headers going right now. Brandon Petz stops it, sends it to the Bulldogs, who clear the ball out to number 21 of the Wolverines, Vito Serra. Vito sends it back to Grant Baker. Grant Baker sends it back to Luke Baker. Luke Baker scans the field. He sends a strong lead pass to the side of the field. Headed out by number 2, Brayden Koisel. Great defensive play there, making number 28, Arniz Besic, have to throw it back in. Arniz throws it in. Headed by number 7, McGregor Adams, who sends it to number 16, Maurice Tomo, who sends it up in the air. Number 29, Dylan Wismont, trying to pass it to number 16, Toma, but just couldn't connect and sends it out of bounds, having Arniz Besic send it back in. Throw it in by Arniz. Throws it over the head of his teammates, 2 Bulldog defenders. Toma has possession of the ball. Toma loses possession and gives it right to number 11, Mohamed Anain. Number 19 for the Bulldogs, Logan Thomas, clears it out, pushes it out of bounds, making number 22, Joseph Cornell, throw it in for the Wolverines. Cornell throws it in high. Header by Robbie, header by number 25, Fadi Soba. And after all, with the ball flying in the air, all things that go up must come down. And it came down into the hands of Spencer Brown, the goalkeeper for Adrian College. Brown sends the pass past midfield with one Bulldog there. Number 4, also Andres, just couldn't quite keep the ball and sends it out of bounds. Possession to Mich-Dearborn. Thrown in by Cornell. Cornell headed by a Wolverine. Back to Cornell. Number 19, Thomas there to clear it out. Andres is there. Open field, but it goes right into the hands of the goalkeeper for Mich-Dearborn. Brian rolls it out to Luke Baker, who passes to Brandon Petz. Brandon Petz sends it to Vito. Sarah lets it roll to Grant Baker, who sends it back to the goalkeeper, Brian. Brian sends it back to Grant. Grant observes the field, sends it to Sarah. Sarah sends it to Petz. Petz couldn't keep possession of the ball. Bulldogs have it. Robbie has possession of the ball now. Passes to number 29, Westmont. Westmont sends it back to number 21, Tobin. Tobin sends a strong lead pass, but just headed right back into play by Michigan Wolverines, number 22, Cornell. Number 7 scans the field, sees what he likes, but cannot get the pass with as Kozil's there to stop it. Robbie and Petz fighting for the ball. And number 25, Fadi Sob, tripped up in the field of play. Possessions goes back to the Bulldogs. McGregor Adams set to pass it in for the Bulldogs. Adams sends a strong pass to the center of the field. Brian, the goalkeeper for Mich-Dearborn, puts his body in harm's way going up for there. Gets collided, but stays on his feet to give the Wolverines the possession. Sarah passes it up to number 7. Number 7 sends a swift pass to Cornell. And now Cornell with the lead pass to number 9, Barnett. Barnett retains possession. Bulldogs defense still being applied. It's number 7, Tanner Wallace, tries to send a strong kick to the goal, but it was caught by the goalkeeper, number 0, Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown sets the kick ball in. A high pass sent over midfield into quarter field on the other side of Michigan territory, missed by all players on the field. And possession stays at Adrian. Adrian set to stub in 2 players, number 14, Justin Sarka, and number 28, Amir Cartridge. Taking out the game is number 20, Robbie Precious, and number 4, Austin Andreas. Bulldogs has possession, but is kicked out of bounds by the Wolverines. Koizel set to throw it in. With a nice throw in, but just couldn't keep the ball in bounds. Kicked out of bounds by number 29, Wismont. Gives possession to the Wolverines. Wolverines throw it in. Throw it to the side of the field. Wolverines come out with the possession. With a whistle blown, possession goes to Mich-Dearborn. Vito Serra rolls it out. Passes it to Petz, who passes it to number 28, Bessick. Bessick sends it towards the goal, and it was an easy pickup by number 0, Spencer Brown. Spencer hesitates, throws it in, goes into the center of the field. And he goes, sets the kick, sends the pass. Pass could not be controlled goes straight to the Wolverines, who send it back out to the Adrian's territory. Number 21, Tobin, there to reclaim possession and clear it out. Bulldogs have possession, sends a lead pass to number 16, but number 28, Bessick, was there to stop the connection. Bulldogs still have possession. Number 14 set to go in center, passes it out. Pass by number 19, Logan Thomas. Couldn't quite connect with the ball. Sends a wounded pass to the center of the field. Kicked out of bounds by Wolverines. Bulldogs with a quick throw in. Cornell and number 14 for the Bulldogs, Francisco Cusamano, there for the ball. Ball is centered in the field. Bulldogs trying to get a goal going in the last 8 seconds. And as the first half of play has come to the half, your Adrian College Bulldogs lead the game 1-0 against the Mich-Dearborn Wolverines. And we will be back after this short break.
We actually met in this class, in this studio. We were in TV and radio. One of the first times I spoke to him, I think I was like a floor manager, and what were you that day?
I was in the booth or something, I think.
He came out here, and I could tell he was having a rough day, so I tried speaking to him, and it didn't go as well as I thought it would. But eventually we got really close. We were really good friends for many years. Right after I graduated, not even a week later, I was already starting my new job out in Nebraska. It was a really small station. I had to prove myself, and I had to be a reporter of 5, essentially, and get that area news out there and build relationships with the community.
Like Elise kind of said, 1 minute you're having your graduation party, the next minute you're starting your new career as a sports reporter. Right off the bat, I got to do a lot of sports, eventually leading to live television broadcasting, live radio broadcasting, and having a sole focus of an entire about 4 or 5 county area where you're the only person that's reporting sports.
We did more than just report. We were in small radio stations, so we also had to be on the radio. We had to gather the news ourselves. City council meetings, understanding what's going on in your local government. We had a 5 to 6 stories a day quota that we had to meet.
That was one thing that we really had to do at Adrian too, though.
Yeah.
Everybody wore multiple hats. Everyone had to do multiple things while we were in the television studio, while we were in the radio booth, while we were in class. Everyone had a big project, and I felt like that was a big reason why, you and I were both able to succeed out in Nebraska.
I'm actually a producer for 13 ABC right now in Toledo, Ohio. It's a very big job, but I really love it. It's the #1 station in Toledo. Sorry. So I consider myself lucky that I get to work with such incredible talent at my young age.
Well, I am a news reporter for NBC 24 in Toledo, so competing markets obviously, but the experience out in Nebraska that led me to Toledo allowed me to learn what I was doing, and then coming to Toledo, which was more of an organized, an official market station, has really helped me grow, and I feel like I'm I'm able to use what I have now and, you know, snowball that and take it to wherever I go next. If I stay in Toledo, whatever, all I can tell you is I really love what I do right now. Every day is different. You get to tell everybody else's story, and that's my favorite part about it.
I would say that's my favorite part too. Every day is different. You never know what's going to come, and that's the exciting part of it.
And learn as much as you can while you can, because the more you know, the less expendable you can be at a job.
Yeah.
If you know how to run a camera, if you know how to edit, if you know how to do video, there's some position somewhere for you. So learn as much as you can, when you can, when practice, you know, whatever you can do to learn all of this stuff in the studio, in the rooms, the classrooms, whatever. The more you know, the better off you'll be.
And I would also have to say that our first boss was very pleased that we knew how to edit video right off the bat. That was training he didn't have to do. So practice.
Yep, that's good. I think that covers it.
Yeah.
Die or fade away. I just wanna be someone. I just wanna be someone. Dive and disappear without a trace. I just wanna be someone. Well, doesn't everyone? And if you feel the great dividing, I wanna be the one you're guiding, 'cause I believe that you can lead the way. I just wanna be somebody to someone, oh, I wanna be somebody to someone, oh, I never had nobody and no road home. I wanna be somebody to someone. And if the sun starts setting, the sky goes cold, and if the clouds get heavy and start to fall, I really need somebody to call my own. I wanna be somebody to someone. Someone to you, someone to you, someone to you, someone to you. I don't even need to change the world. I'll make the moon shine just for your view. I'll make the starlight circle the room. And if you feel like night is falling, I wanna be the one you're calling, 'cause I believe that you can lead the way. I just wanna be somebody to someone, oh, I wanna be somebody to someone, oh, I never had nobody and no road home. I wanna be somebody to someone. And if the sun starts setting, the sky goes cold, and if the clouds get heavy and start to fall, I really need somebody to call my own. I wanna be somebody to someone. Someone to you, someone to you, someone to you, someone to you. The kingdom come, the rise, the fall, the say
There's no program, I think, in the history of rowing that's built a boathouse of this caliber as a first-year team. I think that's reflected not just in the boathouse. The equipment is top-notch, with this brand new fleet of phenomenal boats, as well as having, a team of 25 recruits plus, another 20 walk-ons, to where we're now, a first-year team of 45 men and women, which again is a lot for a first-year program. So, really excited. I think we're in a great place in year one. Really excited to see where we go from here.
So the reason why I joined is because I love the dedication that the school is putting into the new program. The fact that they put so much money into the brand new boathouse that they're going to go all out.
I've always wanted to row in college. Ever since I started rowing, it was kind of one of my goals. And Adrian's the only place that I found that really felt like home, where I could have a good education and row. I love the erg room because it's like we have the deck to look out on, and it kind of makes the 6 a.m. practices a lot better.
We talk a lot about the program values. Among those are, grit, just, a toughness, also, an excellence, being your best self, bringing your best effort to everything you do, being great teammates. We talk a lot about gratitude, the hundreds of people, from your parents and your high school coaches to the administrators here at the college that made this possible, your faculty here at the college. And we talk about, excelling in the classroom and the community as well, and really giving back. And I think people are going to see a program that not only makes them proud in terms of the results we deliver and the national competitions we're going to attend and hopefully perform very well in, but also just the type of kids who are going to be associated with this program are going to be kids that people are really proud to have as alumni of this college in 5, 10, 20 years.
What I love coming in here is the fact that of the coach's methods. The fact that right now it's the fall season, he's a brand new team, he's trying to get us all into having great technique, having to then apply the pressure and just try to grow further and further.
And it's really like a home away from home. Like, everyone on the team is pretty much like my family. The coaches, it's like having a parent here. You can always go to them about anything, like rowing related or not. They care about you as a person, not just an athlete.
You do see in the rowing world, I think, times where there is a institutional disconnect, or an administrative disconnect between what the rowing team is trying to accomplish and the resources they're given to accomplish it. For us, we have such a phenomenal facility as a new program that, it not only enables us to have a wonderful place to train. The erg room is phenomenal. Our boat bay accommodates all the boat needs that we have, but it also sends a message to recruits that we're really serious about this.
Let's do what we've been wanting. I'm going to be watching you. 1, 2, you know what to do. Hail, hail to Adrian, the home of the black and gold. Cheer, cheer for Adrian. Live high, horse high, and low. Go, 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 fight, fight for Adrian. And champions again we will be. Our heroes will score and the crowd will roar another blood victory. Hail, hail to Adrian, the home of the black and the gold. Cheer, cheer for Adrian. Live high, voice proud and bold. Go, dogs, go, fight, fight for Adrian. And champions again we'll be. Our heroes will score and the crowd will roar another blood victory. Woo, woo, woo. My boy! Congratulations.
I've been wasting my days on a 9 to 5, spending dollars when I only make a dime, while you're surfing the waters of paradise. Oh, Adrian, I wanna be like you.
Welcome back to the second half of play between your Adrian College Bulldogs versus Mich-Dearborn's Wolverines. As Michigan starts off with possession, Bulldogs had a great first half. Their defensive pressure has definitely been there, giving an easy night for the goalkeeper, Zach Brown, who only has 1 save in the first 45 minutes of play. Bulldogs have given a little challenge to the goalkeeper of Michigan, number 29, Brian, with having 1 goal scored, but giving him 4 saves on the other times. Adrian leads the game right now 1-0 as we start up the second half of play. Adrian had 6 shots on the goal, was successful for 1, as Mich-Dearborn only has had 1 sent to the goal. It was Zach Brown with having a great night. Pets sends it a lead pass up the field to number 28. Number 28 sends a high pass headed by a Bulldog, and it's sent out of bounds. In the first half, Adrian College had a total of 5 corner kicks, helping them give great percentage looks at the goal, with Mich-Dearborn only having 1. But with Adrian definitely playing a very physical game today with 13 fouls in the first half. Michigan has only had 4. Corner kick sent in for the Michigan. Sent out of bounds again. Possession back to the Wolverines, who now are on to their 3rd corner kick. Corner kick sent in by the Wolverines, sent to the middle of the field, headed, and is knocked back out, cleared out. Bulldogs there. Great defense. Headed by the Wolverines. Now it's a fight for possession as the ball is still in the air. Number 2, Koizel clears it out, but the Wolverines still have possession. Bulldogs defense is there and cleared out into the Michigan's territory. Number 6, Zach Combs there, gets a little physical, and foul for the Bulldogs goes back to the Wolverines. Number 6 passes it over to number 13, Grant Baker. He tries to send a pass up to number 28, Bessick, but deflected out of bounds. Thrown in by Bessick. Headed by Adrian College and out of bounds. Possession back to the Wolverines. Wolverines go to set, throw it back in again. Bessick there to throw it. Ball is put back into the game of play. Headed by number 2, Koizel, sends it back to number 3, or number 7 actually. Number 7, McGregor Adams kicks out of bounds. Bessick there for his 3rd throw in. Bessick throws it in. Powerful throw, headed by number 7. Adams clears it out of the goalie box. Ball stolen by the Bulldogs. Foul on the Mich-Dearborn. And they set it to go a lead pass to number 19. Number 19 puts on a move. That is Logan Thomas. Robbie has the ball stolen. Robbie tries to slide and tackles but cannot. Lead pass sent to Pets. Number 9, Pets. Number 9, Jack Barnett tried to send the pass, but Spencer Brown was there for the cleanup. Spencer takes his time as he lets the field clear out. Set the kick. Sends a strong pass over midfield, headed by number 13, Grant Baker. Now it's a fight for possession. Number 2, Koizel, and number 3, Kuves for the Mich-Dearborn. Go down. Kuves still on the ground, slow to get up. Ref calls time as he goes to check on Kuves. Kuves is a middle forward freshman from Rockwood, Michigan. Still shaken up after last play. Seems to still be on the ground. Kuves stands up and shakes it off and looks like he's ready to return. Time resumes. Possession for Mich-Dearborn. Number 21, Sarah with a strong pass. Cleared out by the Bulldogs. Elliott has the possession, sends it to number 2, Koizel, who sends a pass upfield, sends it right to Sarah. Sarah sends it back. Robbie Scoster sends a pass to Elliott. Elliott gains possession. It's 2-on-3 in the triangle. Robbie tried to attempt a triangle, but wasn't there. Stolen by the Wolverines. Wolverines gain possession. Passes in the air. Number 11. Rush with a header. Sends it to number 19. They keep the ball in possession as they go to penetrate the Wolverine defense. Robbie sends the pass up the sideline. Knocked out of bounds on number 9. Barnett for Michigan Wolverines. Possession back to the Bulldogs. Number 5. Mines set to throw it in. Throws it in to number 6. Number 19, Thomas. There to gain possession. Back to number 5. Mines loses possession. Pets is on the run. He went to go send a lead pass, but deflected by a Bulldog. Bulldogs are gaining possession as they are put back into their territory. Adams clears it out as number 21 tries to put on a move, goes on the sideline, loses possession of the ball. Number 5, Mines set to pass, but deflected out of bounds by number 28 or 21, Sarah. Mines throws it in. Garrett Miller getting physical with number 6, Luke Baker. Foul on Adrian. Grant Baker sends it to Luke Baker. Garrett there again to hold defense. Now Luke Baker getting defensive this time, or aggressive this time. Now the possession goes to the Bulldogs. As Garrett Miller walks away, shaking off the last physical match with number 6, Luke Baker. Number 5, Mines sends a strong pass there, headed by a Wolverine. That is Bessick. Bessick's chasing it to keep it in play. Does. And the Bulldogs clear it out at the top of the Wolverines' territory. Pass sent over the head of Garrett Miller. Goes out of bounds. Goalie kick for number 29, Brian, the Michigan goalie. Brian tells his teammates to clear out as he's set to send a strong kick. Pass sent to midfield, headed by Robbie. Number 4, Gondley gains possession. Pass by number 21. Sarah goes out of bounds. Thrown in by number 5 to number 6. Zach Combs for Adrian sent out of bounds. Possession back to the Wolverines. Robbie goes to fight, applies the defense. Miller with the possession, passes it to the number 9, Elliott. Elliott pass is disrupted and goes right to the Wolverines. Sarah passes it to Bessick. And Bessick's pass is deflected out of bounds. Possession back to the Wolverines. Wolverines throw it in and sent back out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Bessick throws it in. Headed by the Bulldogs. Elliott gets the ball, passes it up to number 6, Combs. Combs sends a lead pass to number 19, Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas with the foot race, gets it there. Puts on a move and is knocked out of bounds by the Wolverines. Mines throws it in to number 19, Thomas. Number 4, Gondoli's there to disrupt the pass. Number 9, Barnett keeps it in play. Passes it back to number 5, Schemerheim. Chaz Schmerheim. Brian sets to pass midfield into deep into Bulldogs territory. Headed between the Bulldogs and the Wolverines. Wolverines regain possession in Bulldog territory. Pets goes for the kick, and it is scooped and saved by Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown walks up, set the pass it in, booms it, pass is sent into Wolverines territory. Ball is in the air, headed out by the Wolverine. Whistle called. Possession to the Wolverines. Sarah passes it to Shemerheem. Sarah passes it. Thomas comes up with the possession for the Bulldogs, and it's knocked out of bounds. Bulldogs retain possession. Bulldogs throw it in. Off the head of number 6, Combs. Possession to the Bulldogs, or to the Wolverines. Number 4, Gondoli throws it in. Robbie has possession. Sends the kick. Taken back in possession by the Wolverines, number 8, Dryzinga. It's out of bounds, possession to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs throw it in. Bulldogs calmly scan the field. Pass back to the goalkeeper, Spencer Brown. Spencer sends a pass to midfield to number 9, Elliott. Elliott puts on a couple moves, sends it back to Robbie. Robbie gets possession. Sends it up the sideline to number 7, or number 5, Mines. Sarah tripped up by number 11, Dayton Rush for the Bulldogs. Luke Baker sends it to number 4, Schmerheim. Sends it to Grant Baker cross field. Baker getting defense, sends it to number 29, the goalkeepers. Sends a beam across field. Bulldogs there to retain possession. Send it across to number 9, Elliott. Elliott goes to push. He passes it to number 6, Combs. Combs passes it to 11, Rush. Stolen by the Wolverines. Pass up to Bessick. And it's knocked out of bounds. Wolverines still have possession. Throw in by the Wolverines, headed by Wolverine and Bulldog. Pets there to head in, sends a lead pass, headed by Combs. Or Mines, excuse me. Zach Brown, goalkeeper for Bulldogs, has possession of the ball as he waits for the field to clear out. He sends a rocket across the field. Bulldogs get possession. Garrett Miller with possession there. He's tripped up. Number 11 Clyde's in. Tripped up. Dayton Rush. And Garrett Miller. And after being and tripping up, Garrett Miller receives a yellow card from the referee. As Miller goes to question what he did for that foul, still doesn't do justice as he still receives a yellow card. Number 13, Grant Baker, back to send in the pass. Passes in to Sarah. Sarah passes it back to Baker. Baker passes it to Brian. Brian sends it back to Sarah. Sarah goes to make a move, can't there. Passes, number 5 passes it to Bessick. Bessick couldn't keep control of the ball, and it goes out of bounds, possession to the Bulldogs. And set to sub into the game, number 14, Francesco Cusimano. Subbing in for number 6, Zach Holmes. Thrown in by the Bulldogs, headed by the Wolverines. Wolverines regain possession, headed by the Bulldogs, headed by the Wolverines, kicked by number 3, Chavez. Out of bounds, goes to the Bulldogs. A yellow card was given, not sure who it was to on the play. Believes to be number 11 for the Bulldogs. Two yellow cards so far given to the Bulldogs. Number 11, Dayton Rush, and number 10, Garrett Miller, both receiving yellow cards in this half. Both of them have to tread on thin water now that they both have yellow cards. Because if they receive another yellow card, that automatically disqualifies them from the rest of this match. Brian puts the ball down, seeing an opportunity really fast, passes it to Grant Baker. Pressure is applied, sends his line drive to a Wolverines, but knocked out of bounds. Possession goes to the Wolverines. Bessick set to throw it in. Bessick throws it up the sideline, headed by number 8 for the Wolverines. Number 7, Adams sends it back to Spencer Brown, who sends it out of bounds as the pressure was applied by the Wolverines. Wolverines go to set it in, throw it in. Trying to be quick, trying to get before the Bulldogs can set up their defense, just not in time. Bulldogs are back in full effect and ready for this throw-in. Number 4, Donnelly throws it in. Bulldogs get possession after that throw-in. Tripped up. Number 14 continues to have control of the ball and is sent up the sideline, but not out of bounds. Number 6, Luke Baker, sends it back to Brian, the goalkeeper for Michigan. Brian sends a pass. Broken up by the Bulldogs. Garrett Miller has possession of the ball. Miller passes it to Thomas. Thomas makes a move, passes it to Mines. Mines sets to center it, and pass is deflected by number 4, Donnelly, set out of bounds. Possession back to the Bulldogs. Checking in the game for the Bulldogs is number 28, Amir Carrick, the middle freshman from Sterling Heights, Michigan. As Garrett Miller sets to throw it in. Garrett throws into the middle. Header by a Bulldog, cleared out. Robbie goes, sends a kick, and it was an easy save for Brian. Brian pushes his team back as he gets ready to send a bomb of a pass. He rolls it out, and he actually just keeps it for himself. Sends the boom. Headed by the Bulldogs. Thomas with possession. Thomas's passes up to Combs, or to Mines. Mines sends it to Miller. Miller tips in, no one there to retrieve it, goes out of bounds. A goalie kick set for number 29, Brian.
All right, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Brian sets up for the goalie kick. Pass sent by Brian. Header between the Bulldogs, sent back into Wolverine territory. Luke Baker heads it to Sarah. Sarah and Thomas fight for the possession. Robbie sends a pass to Elliott. Elliott gets the ball, sends a back pass to number 28, Amir Cartwright. Cartwright loses possession. Wolverines got it. Wolverines clear it out. Bulldogs back in possession. Try to send a quick pass to the sideline, but goes out of bounds. Possession to the Wolverines. Subs coming to the game. Number 22, Joseph Cornell, sophomore from Monroe, Michigan, defensive. And number 15, Xavier Walsher, the defensive freshman from Allendale, Michigan. Both come in for the game to replace number 28, Arnes Bessick, and number 8, Jacob Drzinga. Wolverines have possession, throws it in. Another whistle. Sarah receiving some information from the referee. Wolverines throw it in again. Robbie gets possession. Robbie clears it out. Set back to the middle field. Number 14, Francesco, push pressure. As Brian's there, he sends the pass out of bounds. Possession back to the Bulldogs deep in Wolverine territory. Number 23, Brad Squires, and number 3, Grant Perrine set the sub in for the game for number 9, Elliott Hughes. Strong throw-in sent by Giller. Headed out. A little cluster into the goalie box right now. And number 15, Walsh there to clear it out. Bulldogs regain possession at the top of Bulldogs territory. A strong pass sent in by number 7, Gregor Adams, but no real play set out of there. Ball goes to Wolverines. Pass to Cornell on the sideline. Cornell getting very physical. Referee goes up to Cornell and gives Cornell the yellow card. First yellow card given to a Mich-Dearborn Wolverines player. Cornell getting very physical with Brad Squires. As there's still 23-28 remaining in the game of play, your Bulldogs still have the lead 1-0 over the Mich-Dearborn Wolverines. Strong pass sent in by Mines. Headed by number 28, Karsrick. Robbie sends it back. Grant gets the ball. Grant's still there trying to gain possession. Grant Baker tries to go for a kick, loses it. Grant goes to center it. Oh, but number 14, Francesco Cusimano, there for an attempt at the goal, just loses his feet. Robbie slides with a perfect tackle, sending the ball out of bounds. Wolverines still have possession. Robbie heads it out of bounds again. Robbie really there on the defensive effort today. Wolverines still have possession of the ball. Wolverines throw it in. Garrett sends a pass to Brad Squires. Brad makes a move and has the ball going up, pushing the up sideline. Sees a pass, splits the defenders with no Bulldog there to retrieve the pass. Luke Baker sends it back to Brian. Brian, pressure put on by the Bulldogs. Brian sends a pass all the way to midfield, but the Bulldogs regain possession. Bulldogs pushing it up the sideline. Grant there for the quick pass to Garrett Miller. Garrett Miller sends it back up, but his pass stolen by the Wolverines. Lead pass sent up, but no one there. Combs there to break it up. Spencer Brown sends a bomb of a pass all the way back towards midfield, but goes out of bounds until the rafters. Grant Baker there to give it back to the ball keeper as the Wolverines get ready to throw it in. Wolverines have an easy throw and sent back into number 4, Gondoli. Luke Baker sends it back to Brian, the goalkeeper. Brian goes and sends a powerful pass high and up into the midfield. Bulldogs head it. Wolverines go and regain possession, but the Bulldogs there to break it up. Garrett Miller there to apply the pressure with Graham coming to his side. Pass up the sideline to the Wolverines. Robley goes to apply the pressure. Fake pass set goes through number 9. Barnett pushes it through. Petts gets the ball in the middle field, sends the goal, but way left on the attempt. Sent out of bounds by Petts. They'll give the Adrian College goalie Spencer Brown a chance at a goalie kick. And number 29, Dylan Wismont, comes into the game, substituting Garrett Miller. Spencer sends the pass in. Headed by Petts. Broken up by Combs, or by Mines. Grant there to apply the pressure and gets possession, but a foul called on Grant gives the Wolverines the ball back. Pass sent in. Possession goes to Robbie. Robbie has the ball, loses possession by Petts. Wolverines regain possession. Luke Baker in their territory with the ball. Puts on a move, scans the field, and sends a pass. Lead pass in number 5. The Bulldogs putting on pressure, send it out of bounds, giving Michigan. Actually, ball goes to the Bulldogs. Pass sent in by Brown, headed by Grant Baker. Headed by number 26, Tad Gabriel in the game, the freshman from New Baltimore, Michigan. Out of bounds, possession goes to the Wolverines. Wolverines throw it in, and it's out of bounds, possession to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs set to throw it in from midfield. High throw in. Headed by the Bulldogs. Luke Baker there to clear it out. Robbie to head it back into possession for the Bulldogs. Brad Squires sends a kick up to the sideline, broken up by Cornell. Squires sends another one straight to the goalkeeper, Brian, for Mich-Dearborn. He tells his teammates to clear out. Sends a powerful pass to Bulldogs territory. Headed. Another header. 3 headers by the Bulldogs to go back into Michigan territory. Sierra gets possession and crosses to midfield. At the top of midfield, goes back into his side of the territory. Sends a pass to Cornell. Brad Squires there to apply the pressure. Sends it back to Luke Baker, who sends a pass across field to Grant Baker. Grant sends it up to Sarah. Sarah passes it. Sarah keeps possession and is now up the sideline, keeping the ball in bounds. Passes it up to number 5. Bulldogs steal the ball, broken up by Sarah. Wolverines regain possession and now are on their way towards Adrian's goal. Lead pass set there, but no one there to respond. Spencer Brown there for an easy pickup. He stops the ball. He sees the pressure coming, and he goes and picks it up. Taking his time to go into the middle. He scans the field, and he gets ready and bombs a very beautiful pass. Headed by the Wolverines. Headed by the Bulldogs. Grant has the ball. Sends it to Brad Squires there, broken up by Sarah. Cardinal has possession of the ball. Squires there to puts on the speed to get there. Pass sent up the sideline. And ball goes out of bounds. Out of bounds by the Wolverines. Goalie kicks for Spencer Brown of the Bulldogs. Number 11, Muhammad Anai checks into the game. At number 25, Fadi Saab checks into the game, placing Grant. Bulldogs have the ball. Robbie has the ball. Robbie scans the field, sends a pass up the sideline to Thomas. Robbie continues to fight off Pets. Pets gets the ball. Robbie goes for a tackle, cannot connect. And is cleared out by McGregor Adams. Cornell there for the header for the Wolverines. Number 14, Francisco Cusamano there. Squires tries to pass it, but doesn't seem to connect. Number 8 for the Bulldogs, Tyler Deasy, the middle senior from Coonera, Michigan. And number 7, Tanner Wallace, the junior from Riverview, Michigan, check into the game. Thrown in by the Bulldogs. Whistled there, a little bit too much physicality. Goes back to possession of the Wolverines. Sarah has the ball, gives it to Pets. Pets pushes it up the field. Squires there to apply the defense. Tries to send a lead pass, broken up by the Bulldogs. Wolverines still regain possession. Wolverines trying to break into the Bulldogs defense, but just can't do it right now. High kick sent into the air. Couple of headers by the Wolverines. A header by Robbie. Another header by Robbie. And a shoulder thrown in by number 7. Cleared out by the Bulldogs. Luke Baker there to get it. Number 8, Wallace is there, or Deese is there to put up pressure, but can't get the ball. Pass sent up the sideline. No one there to get it. Spencer Brown sends it. Headed by the Wolverines, Luke Baker. 2 headers in a row brought down to the ground. Pets has the ball. Pets passes it. Looked like there was Wolverine was an attempt to shot on the goal, but just couldn't. Tackle taken out. Great tackle by number 26. Tad Gabriel sends it out of bounds, giving the Wolverines a corner kick. Corner kick is sent. And it is a goal scored off a header by number 16, Brandon Pets. That puts the Wolverines on the board with 13-17 left to play in the second half. Titus scored at 1-1. The assist coming off the corner kick. Number 19, Logan Thomas checks in for number 23, Brad Squires. Cornell sends a header right into the Bulldogs. Pets goes to penetrate the defense. Ball rolls out of bounds. Giving Adrian's goalkeeper Brown another goalie kick. Pass is sent in by Brown. Headed by the Wolverines. Wolverines get possession. Send a lead pass. Easy scoop by Brown. And as a group gets ready to sub in for the Bulldogs, Brown sends the pass. Logan Thomas has possession of the ball. Sends a lead pass to no one. Whistle there. Possession goes to the Bulldogs. As Robbie sets in for the free kick. Robbie sends the kick. Header and the assist from a great assist from Robbie. Gives the Bulldogs their second score of the night. That last goal was scored by number 21, Justin Tobin, the junior from Midland, Michigan, off a great assist off the free kick from Robbie Presero. Bulldogs now take the lead 2-1 with 11:28 left to play. Number 2, Brandon Coizel. Number 6, Zach Combs. Number 10, Garrett Miller. And number 11, Dayton Rush all check in for the Bulldogs. A yellow card given to another Michigan Wolverine. And that yellow card was given to number 21, Sarah. Free kick sent in. Sarah has possession. Garrett Miller there to apply the defense. Sarah still has the ball. Sarah puts on a move as he scans the field, sends a pass. Lead pass there, but broken up by number 7, McGregor Adams, who sends it over the fence and out of bounds. Wolverines go set to throw it in. Pass sent, headed out by the Wolverines. Cornell attempts to keep it in bounds, cleared out by Logan Thomas. Header pass and now to Dayton Rush on the sideline. Puts on a move. Brandon Petts getting physical. Logan Thomas there, but number 11 has the ball for the Wolverines. Sends a pass, broken up by the Bulldogs. Logan Thomas has possession. Sends it back, cleared out. Zach Combs looking for the ball. Luke Baker heads it out of bounds, giving possession to the Bulldogs. Number 5, Mines, set to throw it in for the Bulldogs. Pass thrown into Combs. Garrett Miller has the ball. Miller goes looking for a chance to possibly center the ball. He sends the pass, but it was an easy pickup by Brian, the goalkeeper for Mich-Dearborn. Brian rolls it out to Grant Baker. Grant sends the pass up the side of the field to Gondoli.
Gondoli sends it back to Grant Baker.
Grant sends it back to the goalkeeper, Brian. Brian sends a powerful pass to midfield, headed off Pets. Number 15, Walsher has the ball for the Wolverines. As he dribbles across the field, sends it to number 4, Gondoli. Gondoli tripped up. Could hear the screams up to the press box, but seems to be okay. Sarah sends the pass, headed out of bounds by the Bulldogs, sending them back to almost midfield. Throw in by Grant Baker. Bulldogs and Wolverines fight for possession. Goes out of bounds, but possession to the Bulldogs. Headed by Combs. Ball to Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas avoids it, gives it to the Wolverines. Grant Baker has the ball, sends it back to Brian. Brian sends a pass to midfield, headed by Robbie. Robbie passes it to Logan. Logan heads it, brings it back to the ground, regains possession. Puts on a move, but goes out of bounds. Cornell set to throw it in for the Wolverines. Subs coming in. We have number 3, Christian Chavez. Number 9, Jack Barnett. Number 8, Jacob Dreisiga. And number 23, Robbie Redzik, the mid-forward freshman from Sterling Heights, Michigan, is in the game as well. Luke Baker heads it to the Wolverines goalkeeper. Tells them to clear out. Takes his run up and passes it deep into the Bulldogs territory, headed out back to midfield, headed again. And Garrett there to try to apply that pressure, trying to get the ball back from Sarah. Combs breaks it up, but Sarah still has the ball. Garrett takes possession, steals it from them. Rush passes it to Thomas. Thomas passes it to Combs and is broken up. A little physical on that play, but no call from the ref. Robbie gets the steal. Logan Thomas has the ball. He scans the field. And he's tripped up by Luke Baker, who kicks it out of bounds. Possession Bulldogs. Corner kick set for the Bulldogs. Logan Thomas there to kick it. Or actually, it's a throw-in. Logan throws it in. Rush has a defender. Michigan defender falls. Logan tries to center it, but is broken up by number 8. Logan with a header sends it back to Combs. Combs tries to center it as well, but it's out of bounds. Ball goes out of bounds. Now it is a corner kick for Logan Thomas. Garrett Miller goes to replace Logan Thomas on the corner kick. Garrett analyzes the field. Sends the pass. Headed by the Wolverines. Clear it out, but Logan Thomas chases the ball down to regain possession. Logan passes it to midfield to McGregor Adams. McGregor sends it up. Lead pass to Garrett Miller. Looks for a chance to center it, but the Wolverines there to break it up. Possession still goes to the Bulldogs. Miller sets to throw it in. Miller throws it in to Thomas. Thomas tosses it back or passes it back to Miller. Broken up by the Wolverines. They send a pass up the sideline. Bulldogs get possession. Robbie passes it off Sarah goes out of bounds. And Mine's there to go throw it in. Mines throws it high, headed. Out of bounds, goes to the Bulldogs. Garrett throws into Thomas. Thomas loses possession, cleared out by the Wolverines. Wolverines there for it, headed. Off Combs' head goes into the hands of Brian, the goalkeeper for Mich-Dearborn. Strong pass sent. Deep into Bulldog territory, headed by the Bulldogs. Wolverines have possession. Cleared out again by the Bulldogs. Garrett has the ball. Sends a lead pass up. Too powerful, though. Goes right to the goalkeeper for Michigan. Pass is sent. Line drive. Headed. Well, Thomas comes up with the ball for Adrian. Passes it to Combs. Combs misses the pass. Luke Baker sends it to Grant Baker. Grant passes to Sarah, who tried to attempt to pass it to Gondley, broken up by the Bulldogs. Grant Miller's IQ, knowing he was offside, did not touch the ball, goes and scooped up by Brian. Brian sends the pass. Headed by the Wolverines. And Spencer Brown there to scoop it up and breaks up the offensive pursuit. Brown sends the pass. Bounces up. Luke Baker puts it back in the air. Robbie was pushed on attempt on the header. Number 8 complaining to the referee. That's Jack Dreziga, who gives another foul. Free kicks put in. Goes right out of bounds. Possession to the Wolverines. As this game is still close as we get to the last 1 minute and 49 seconds of play. Michigan's looking to still score a goal to tie things up. Headed by the Wolverines. Possession broken up. Dayton Rush gets bumped, loses by Chavez. Chavez regains possession. Sarah passes it to number 8, Dreziga. Both team players go for a sliding tackle pass. Both miss. Pass broken up by Zach Combs from Gondola. Gondola has it, sends it back towards, and Spencer Brown with the easy pickup. As Brown takes the time, as we go into the last minute remaining to play, Luke Baker sends it back to Brian. Brian sends a powerful pass. Referee calls a foul. Michigan in quick pursuit trying to score a goal. Chavez there, but the pass to Chavez goes out of bounds. Return possession to the Wolverines. Bulldogs here to try to put off less 30 seconds of play. Keep the game. Number 11, Mohamed Anai with a foul. Possession back to the Bulldogs. Garrett sends a strong pass up the sideline to Logan Thomas. Goes straight out of bounds. And as the clock winds down, as Michigan throws it in, it looks like the Bulldogs will take this one, and they have. The Bulldogs win tonight's matchup against Mich-Dearborn Wolverines. Again, they came into this game losing the series all time, 2-0. And now they have actually put a 1 to that series record as the Bulldogs claim the win tonight. Great performances out of Garrett Miller and the whole Bulldogs team tonight. Thank you guys for tuning into the broadcast on ACTV. My name is Tyler DeWitt, and it's a great day to be a Bulldog.